I'll be talking about something that is very, very important. I would like you to pay attention and watch to the end. I want to talk about marriage, causes of late marriage. In Africa, we believe that everything has a spiritual cause. Of course, there are some that are spiritually, the spirits are responsible. But from my years of experience in counseling, I discovered that so many late marriages are not as a result of evil forces or spiritual manipulation. And this I know too well, because as a pastor, I've had opportunity to counsel a lot of young people, in my over 2 decades of pastoral work. So many times you hear things like, I'm looking for the will of God. And if I may ask, what is the will of God? So many of the persons or people who tell you I'm waiting or looking for the will of God, if you ask them what is the will of God about their own life, they will not be able to tell you. And if you don't know the will of God for yourself, how will you know the will of God concerning marriage? Some of us don't even know what is God's will for us as regards career. Until you know the will of God for your life, you will not know the will of God for who or concerning who you're supposed to marry. Because the first man God created, before God ever gave him a wife, God already gave him an assignment. So for me, before you can say or think about the will of God for you in marriage, you should know what your assignment on earth is. It is in light of that you will now begin to think about who match that vision or assignment. On the part of the woman, yes, somebody comes around and say, well, I want you to be my life partner, I want you to be my wife. And the next thing is, I am praying, I'm seeking the will of God. The first thing is, do you ever imagine or do you already have a picture of who a husband that fits into your dream look like? And this lack of knowledge has left a lot of people, without, getting married as at when they're supposed to. So one is not knowing what they are called or created to do. It's one of the reasons why a lot of people marry late. Number two, some people also don't have enough knowledge about marriage. Marriage is a lifetime journey. We prepare to become, professionals in different fields. But a lot of people, young people, don't prepare for marriage. So they just wait, particularly the ladies, until somebody will just walk to them and say, I want to marry you. No, you need to prepare. What kind of home do you want to build? And begin to study, begin to get materials, begin to ask questions. As a young boy, at age 15, I attended a marriage seminar and the teacher asked me to go out because he felt I was underage. And I insisted I would stay. When he saw the way I was begging to stay, he now asked me. I said, I know where I'm coming from and I don't want to have the same kind of marriage. And I was able to convince him to allow me into the class. And from that tender age, I began to learn. So even before I became a pastor, I got married. I started talking about marriage. The first thing is knowing what you are called or created to do. Number two, have enough information about marriage. It will help you. Then number three, don't look for people who are ready-made. The whole concept about marriage is two becoming one. But a lot of people, particularly the ladies, think that somebody will come to them 100% And then they keep looking for that 100%. They use 20 years, 15 years, 5 years, as the case may be, to wait for that 100% person. And there is no man that is perfect 100%. If you get 50, 60, congratulations. But if you don't know what you are looking for, you will not know when such a person passes you by. And number 4, so many people marry late because of wrong association. So many people tell you, well, I'm waiting, seeking the face of God to know whether to tell you yes or no. But the truth is they are not seeking the face of God. They are waiting or seeking the opinion of their friends. Oh, so person say, want to marry me, what's your opinion? By the time 2 of their friends talk to them about whoever is making the proposal and they discourage them, they will come back and tell you, this is what God said. Some don't even pray. They just walk around, do their own, So, the people you work with, your cycle of friends, can be responsible for why you're having delayed marriage. So, if you want to be married, or you feel you have come to the age of marriage, don't associate with people who don't like marriage. Work with those who are already married, or those who are also praying and trusting God for a life partner. Because if you have common interests, you'll be able to share the same idea. But people who don't like marriage, there are some ladies who see marriage as suffering. So if you tell them somebody want to marry, they say, so you want to go and suffer, you want to go and be under the control of a man and stuff like that. And they don't know that for the ladies, once you pass your flower, which usually is between your 20 and early 40s, the number of people who will be approaching you for marriage start declining. And these people will turn around and go to the prayer houses, begin to bind and lose and accuse the wrong people as responsible for their not marriage. No. Like I said earlier, some are spiritual, but not all of them. And very few. I know that out of 100 late marriages, you can hardly find 15 that are spiritual. A lot of them are lack of ignorance and wrong association. And the last I want to add for today, there are over 100 reasons, but for want of time, is before you begin to talk about marriage, already have what to do, either as a man or as a woman. Don't see marriage as an end to a lifetime ambition or vision. You are going to help that person. You are going to contribute. You are going to join forces with that person to build a future. So don't see, okay, I want to marry, and then once I get married, the person take over all my responsibility, both for myself and my family. If you go into marriage with such huge expectation, or you are looking for somebody who can come as an answer to your life need, you may never find one. So, if these areas are taken care of, a lot of young people will get married early enough. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this edition. Please subscribe and like our channel for more of these videos.